What's up, guys? Gonna do a little. If you guys have not played it yet, this is Batman Arkham Asylum. It's the PlayStation 3 version. I've heard the Xbox version is good, but not as good, mostly because the whole you can't play as the Joker thing. But still, it's this basically the same game. This one's made by DC Rocksteady, um, and I loved it. I thought it was a great game, especially for like the whole hero genre of games are generally not that good, just because they try to make it exactly like the movie. So you know what's going to happen, and B, it's just you compare it to the movie the whole time, so it's just like you're not enjoying it. Whereas with this game, since it's based off the TV show, something that didn't happen. As long as I never really watched it, so I have no idea. I'm assuming here. It's really cool, I think. And if you're expecting like a Christian Bale type Batman and a Heath Ledger type Joker, you're gonna be disappointed. But at the same time, I think you're gonna love the game for what it is, not for what it isn't, or hate for what it isn't. Whatever. The main concept of the game is the Joker has locked you along with the Commissioner and a couple other random Arkham guards as well, and the I'm trying to think the word, the Warden Sharp of Arkham Asylum. In the asylum, you're trapped. You basically have to defeat the Joker and find your way out. And the entire game is basically you realizing the Joker's not just in it for just to mess with you. There's actually a secret dark plan to it, which is again not very much unlike the whole Heath Ledger type Joker, because he's just kind of anarchy, whereas this Joker has plans. He's a schemer, and I love. My favorite part of the game is the combat engine, because I really think that although it takes some getting used to, it's also really enjoyable to play because it's one of those games. It's a little bit like I almost hate to say this. It's a little like Assassin's Creed, like the combat engine is. Just because that minus the whole targeting idea, you're just kind of fighting because you can countering's a big part of it. Actually, it's necessary, and also you can use certain weapons in the fight, like the batarangs. You can upgrade to a combo batarang, which basically means you can throw a batarang and it counts as a combo hit. Which combo hits are the most important thing in the game. So that's how you get upgrades by fighting. When the only problem is, fighting is the easiest way to get experience. However, there's not a lot of fights at the beginning part of the game, so you're just kind of stuck completing missions, and that's the only way you can get experience. Whereas at the end of the game, you're literally fighting henchmen from right after Ivy to, actually before that, probably at Kane. You just start non-stop fighting people. The Scarecrow is probably the second largest villain in this game. Because there's so many times when you fight Scarecrow, and Scarecrow fights you don't actually fight him because it's the Scarecrow. You can't you have to actually deal with him. And the Scarecrow, I'll explain it to you. Basically, what you do is you're trapped in this messed up game of this messed up world, and it's basically a square box, and you have to get around the box to the other side. And then activate this Batman, the beacon, the bat signal. You have to hit the Scarecrow with it to kill him or to knock him out. And eventually, it gets to the point where he's injected you 5 or 6 times in this one fight, and you've had to fight him so many times. And he eventually gives up. Well, not gives up, but you have to chase him, and then he dies. Because he gets eaten. I'm not gonna give. Well, I guess I kind of gave away. Well, I might as well just keep going. He's eaten by Killer Croc, which I also like the fact that it's not like the movie, even though, considering that's what most people would think when you see this game, with the way that, with these latest movies, especially Dark Knight, you'd think that this is kind of based on the game or maybe after the game, but it's nothing of the sort. It's totally the opposite. But I love that about it. And Okay. It's got a lot of the great villains in it. Harley Quinn is in it. Ivy is in it. Kane is in it. Killer Croc is in it, and of course the Joker and Scarecrow are in it. And again, they're not the I mean, I guess you don't really see Kane or Killer Croc or Harley Quinn for that matter, or Ivy in the movies, which I hope that they eventually include all of them, because that would just suck if they didn't. Um, but they really did a good job with the boss fights and incorporating a lot of the boss fights into the actual storyline. And just, I don't know, it's not really like it's kind of a seamless world too. That's the best part, is you can go anywhere in Arkham Asylum, even if it's not part of your mission. So you go back to like the prison blocks, or I guess the patient wing or whatever it is, and then you can go back to the what's it called, the botany building. Then you can go to the science lab, the med lab, and it's all part of the game. It's really cool. I I mean, it can get confusing because you can get lost very quickly, but at the same time, it's just really enjoyable. Now, absolutely love the challenge maps because, well, for one, it's really fun because one of them is basically you sneaking around, and if you get caught, you basically die because everyone has guns and you have no armor. So you've got to sneak around and use all these different techniques of killing people. Of like, well, not killing, you don't, because Batman's got the whole moral code thing. Which, spoiler alert, he actually gives up that moral code at one point because he eventually gets so sick of it that he kind of just hardens out at one point, and he basically lets. I mean, most people will probably disagree with me on this, but he basically lets the Scarecrow get killed and doesn't try to save him or anything. And then he's become so fed up with the way the night has gone, because it's basically just one night at Arkham Asylum. The entire thing occurs during the course of 12 hours, something like that, or 8 hours, and it's really crazy, the whole entire game. I'm not going to give away the ending, but most people are going to be pretty satisfied because it's great. And again, I want to just mention the upgrade system in the game. You can upgrade certain parts, become good at certain things, and it all depends on how good you are to begin with. So you have to kind of learn fast, or you're not going to reach your full potential by the time you face the Joker. But all in all, I'd give it 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, something like that. Only because there's some parts in the game where it seems too easy, and then some parts of the game where you're sitting there and you don't want to have to do something. It's like a lot of people. I can't. I'm about to make this. I can't believe I'm about to make this comparison. It's kind of like General Ram at the end of Halo. I mean, Gears of War. Fail. At the end of Gears of War, because people, you don't want to have to fight the boss a million times. You just want it to be enjoyable. Like, you want to enjoy the story, have fun with it. And that's something I didn't see as much in Arkham Asylum, because they made it so hard in some parts and then so easy in others. Where it's just like some things are so obvious, and then other times you're sitting there for like hours trying to find this one thing. And also, one other thing in the game that is the most confusing, annoying, and most enjoyable part of the game. The Riddler is in it. And he's not in it, you don't fight him, but he is in it. And with the Riddler games, basically what they're called, or something like that, the Riddler Challenge. And you have to find all these trophies, and he gives you clues. And there's one part where he actually talks to you, not like face to face, but he talks to you like through a loudspeaker and explains the entire concept of the game at the beginning. At the beginning of Arkham Asylum, he explains the concept of his little mini game, and it's really, really fun. Also, if you do have a PS3, I would suggest this game even more because you can play as Joker in some of the challenge maps, and it's really, really funny. Because, I mean, you don't get as much stuff, you don't get as much equipment, but you do get to do a lot more cool stuff. Like, A, you can kill people, and B, you just get to, like, the takedowns are amazingly funny. Anyway, that's my thing of Arkham Asylum, so enjoy.